Start me up, woo! Yep, start me up and never stop. Never, 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 never. You make a grown man cry. Oh, you make a grown man cry. La da da dee, bop bop boom bee. I'll take you places that you never, never say. Yeah, start it up. You got to start it up. Woo! Alright. So, tonight I am doing something different than a drawing. On my Facebook memories a couple nights ago, this popped up, and I didn't even know if I still had the file, but I got this Misty Copeland reference, and I bought these body mechanics rigs, and I hadn't used the rigs for a really long time at all, even though I paid for them. They were just sitting on my computer. So this one Sunday, I grabbed this reference of Misty Copeland, who is, oh God, just beautiful, beautiful woman, human being, dancer. And I grabbed this reference and did this little animation. And it popped up on my Facebook memories, and I was like, oh, that was fun. That was a really fun day. When I did it, I was just relaxing and just having fun doing animation, because I needed it. I really remembered how I felt that day. I wasn't really trying to do anything but have fun and relax, and I was in a nice little space on that Sunday, however many, I think it was a year ago. So looking at it, I saw a couple things that I would have fixed or adjusted. So I checked tonight to see if I still had the file, and to my surprise, I opened it up and it was there. And not only was the file still there, but also my reference images were there. Because I was going to try and open it and fix it or just with the character and not looking at any reference at all. So it's not going to be a long time for me to be online. There's just a couple things I want to do. Like let's start with her hips. Like, I want to just kind of go through and make sure there's this tiny change happening on her, in her pelvis. I'm gonna like zoom in a little bit more, and when she comes up here, it's there. It's pretty close. When it rotates, that foot starts to drop a lot sooner. So I'm gonna definitely make that adjustment. I just wanted to make sure that I had a comment on the hip line not matching up, and I thought that they actually I thought that they were right, but now that I'm like in the file, I'm looking at the line. It might be hard for you guys to see it, but the line of her the rig's waist, and then the line of her the band around her waist here, to make sure those kind of match up and are at the same angle. And I think that they are. There's even like a little twist she does. So right now you see more flat, just the belly, and then there's a little rotation, and you start to see into the side. So I'm gonna leave that alone, and instead I'm noticing this foot. So I'm gonna grab this foot control, and what I'm seeing is tracking the foot up. It's going up. Thanks, Ken. I don't even know how to respond to that except to say thank you, but I am far from it, and there's a lot of people that would agree. But I do love doing this, so there is that. So when I track her foot, there's like a pause there, and then it starts to drop. And mine's not doing that. Like if you look at the reference, like it comes up, that's probably like the peak, and then it starts to drop. So I'm gonna add that drop right here. Because I think what I did is let's go ahead and look at the curves too. If I go to, where is it? Panel, layouts, to pane stacked, and graph editor. Just want to look at the Y. So yeah, there's a little incline happening here. So there's not a lot happening right here. It's not completely flat. So that's why I think I let it go. But I'm going to make this a little bit more accurate. So here, boom, there, goes a little bit higher. And if I look at the distance between this toe and her hand there, I think I can go like a little bit higher here. All right, and then it goes even higher on this frame, like that. And it goes even further. I'm going to put a little bit of rotation on it too. A little bit of rotation. Just realized too my A tools aren't showing up here. We'll see if I need it. I might not need those today. It goes up. And then here it looks like that foot kind of is reaching its peak. Like it's not like freezing in space, so I'm just going on every frame for this stuff. So now after frame 12, it looks like she's dropping it. So I'm gonna start to drop it. There. And it drops some more. Right here. What up, Les? Doing something a little different tonight. Alright. Animates instead of draw. Or actually right now I'm just cleaning up, or tweaking I should say, an old animation. It popped up in my Facebook feed of memories, and I liked it, and I was like, you know what, this deserves to be messed with a little bit more. So I'm just tracking this foot right now. That looks pretty good. And I'm gonna go here. That feels pretty good. I think all of this is good. I think it was just in this area where she comes up. Yeah, that feels so much better. Like it. Let me see it. Let me actually play it. Yeah. Just so that foot, like, it was continuing, but it wasn't matching the reference, and I wanted to match the reference. That was the exercise as well, is matching the reference and getting those mechanics down. So if I go through here, and always save when you like what you're doing. Save scene as. I'll go ahead and just call this. I called it Cope for short, from Misty Copeland. I'm just gonna type adjust. I'm gonna save it. I have a student version, so it's just up. So, all right. So, if you hear that, that's the train going. So now, just following through and trying to like look at relationships, right? Of like, so like here, the foot is almost at, yeah, there's a train. I live right next to the Baylor stop, so I hear the trains, I hear people arguing, I hear all kinds of stuff, and I see even more kinds of things. I see couples getting it on, I see people pooping in the bushes, you name it, I've seen it. But when I have to animate a person pooping in the bushes, I will know exactly what that looks like. So here I'm looking at the pose, and like, so there's a bend on that leg, which I don't know if I can get in this rig. I don't think I can. But what I can do, let me just double check. Can I bend this? No, that twist gives me a twist. But I don't think I have like a pole vector on that. If I do, I just don't know where it is. Viz trackers. What are those? Do they do anything, or you just use them to... Oh, that's kind of cool. You can use that to do a motion path and track your arcs, but that's not going to help me put a bend on that leg. Because I wanted to put like a bow. Her leg is like, can you see my mouse? Yeah, it's bowing like right there. So I might have to give that up. But what I will say is like, so there's this almost a right angle, like there's a lean to her body, but this is pretty much like a right angle, and I might want to adjust this arm to do that. It even bends a little bit. So for now, I'm going to look at this foot though, and I'm going to raise it just a little bit so that it's more at an angle here, and then comes down. But I think I come down a little too far, so I'm going to come up here and also bend or unbend that foot. Keep it straight down, and then there, it doesn't drop that much on this frame, so I'm going to come back up, also rotate this, comes down a little bit. I think that looks good. Here, keep this straight. That looks pretty good. I don't know if she gets that close to the ground there. I think maybe I could, something like that. And see here, I don't think that's right either. This should be straight and also closer. See how the back meat of those calves are almost touching, so I wanted to do that there. Les is asking, do I have a place online that you have your videos for people to watch and learn? All of these are just me like kind of figuring things out for myself. But they do all get saved onto YouTube. So the live streams are saved on Facebook that I do, and then they also get uploaded to YouTube under Scrib Creative. So yeah, I mean, you can watch them, and I'm usually just listening to music and drawing, and talking about art, or talking about my emotions, things that I'm stressing about, things that I'm trying to figure out. The stuff that actually makes you an artist is what I usually talk about. I don't do like super like lesson plan, thought out tutorial stuff, like mainly just because there's so many people out there, and this isn't a diss on me, there's just so many people out there that do it well, really well. So I'd rather do stuff that just inspires people to just do anything, right? Like, just do it, and then if you want to get better, go follow some of those people that do tutorials and stuff, if that makes any sense. And again, I'm not dissing myself or my abilities. I do that in private. So here that foot crosses over, which looks good. And it's there. I think this part, all this is good. Except here, it looks like, damn, I wonder if this rig's going to be able to do this. So if I go down, so let's make that toe touch, and then here it starts to bend. Can I bend this toe to fake it? That's a heel pivot. That's not what I want. Toe, here we go. What is this? Toe raise. Whoops. Let's just mess with the value. Yeah, let's try to zero that out. Let's try 2. 2's not enough. Let's try 10. 10's not enough. Let's try 20. 20's too much. 15. Now that toe is kind of bent. Like, see how her heel comes down and then it bends there? So I just wanted to make sure this heel comes down and then bends slightly, so it's just like you see that contact happen. And I think I'm gonna zero the toe there, and then when it gets here, you get a bend a little bit, and then it starts to compress, which I have it almost touching the ground all the way, and I am going to try and, there's a raise heel, so if let's try 5. Alright, let's try 10. Alright, fuck it, excuse my language, let's try 25. 25 is too big, but I'll bet 20 looks alright. 20's not bad. So now toes pointing, toe contacts, toe compresses, heels up, heels almost touching, and then it touches the ground. I think that's good. And I'm going to, let me see something here. See, there's like a, am I going through the, I think I was going through the ground on that. Oh, here we go. That toe, raised toe, I want to turn that down. Let's go to 0. Yeah. There we go. I'm seeing like a, oh, and then that heel. Should I go back to 0 for that? Yes. So there it's at 20, and then here's, let's just drop it. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna hide these curves. See what this looks like when I play it. Yeah, that's pretty good. There's like a little bit of a, I think the heel's too high here on this frame. 20 was too high. 10 might be too high too. And then, oh, you know what? And then the heels, so I'm flat on frame 35, which means after that, there's like something going up and it shouldn't be. So I key that and copy this frame and paste it. I don't know why it's lifting. It's weird. Because it really should stay completely. Let's look at what the curve is doing. Like, should be flat because it goes down and it's not. Shouldn't be moving. And the values aren't changing. So what did you do, Devin? What is making that foot? There must be another control. No. Let's grab all of these and see. I'm going to switch this to just curves. So I select only the curves. Okay. So that's your... Let's key all those. I'm going to make sure those get keyed here too. Ah, shoot, it did not like that. That was weird. Let's try it here. No, it's not liking me pasting that. Copy. Oh, jeez Louise. Okay, let's just do this one at a time. Is there anything changing on? Okay, the toe changes. So 0, it needs to be 0 here too. That's what it was. That's what was moving it. I found it. So flat, and it should be flat through all of this. And again, I'm just going through and keying all these. Okay, now the heel starts coming up. But for these 1, 2, 3, 4 frames, or 1, 2, 3 frames, it should be flat, which it is. So now if I play this, you know, I'm still seeing one thing. Like, I wonder if, well, oh, I know, I see it. I see it. So, this is where I'm ending. And if I look at this toe, something's weird, right? So I might have to import my A tools in here. Let me save this and see if I can do it really fast. I have to find it to do a search and look for anim bot drag and drop. I don't want anim, I don't want anim tools. Yeah, A tools. Shit. Hold on. Here we go. There's the install. That's the mill. Let's go ahead and put it here and drag and drop. Did that not work? There it goes. I think. Is it in there? It's downloading. There we go. All right. Hopefully this will make it easier. So, foot is here, right? Let's reverse engineer it. That's the flat right there. So, if I match that, but then raise the heel, where is that? To be like that, and then put that there, and then this one goes like that. Now that toe should still not doing what I want. Toe, raised toe. Maybe I don't want those on. Yeah, I don't think you do. See, but then there's this little hop that's happening right there. Wonder if there we go. And then go half that there. Okay, I think I fixed it. Yep. So now, toe points, toe hits, compress down, and then it goes, and there's no little bounce. That thing was driving me crazy. Yeah, so now I feel a whole lot better about that. Okay, and because I feel a whole lot better, I'm gonna save it. And then let's see, are you trying to arc the left foot? No, Nathan, what I was trying to do is, so this screen left foot here that I'm circling with the mouse, I had to make sure when it was coming down here and reaching its point before the contact, I wanted to make sure the toe got contact like that, like it's just touching, starts to compress, and then the heel comes down. And I had that, but there was this extra bounce on one of the controllers that was making the foot go up. And I wanted to make sure that you really felt this compression. Like if you look at her foot and see that toe, and then it's the toe plants, and then the heel comes down. So I was just trying to make sure that that was happening. So now, I think I'm happy with the way that it comes here, and she does her little scoochy scooch twinkle toe move. So I'm going to move on to the other thing that was bothering me about this old animation, and that is the other foot. So if you look here, man, it really does lock. All right, I'm gonna zoom in on this foot. I need to see what's happening here. I need a new mouse too. Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that with my camera. It's okay. Let's go ahead and... I can't remember how to move. I have a different mouse at work. So when I'm trying to like move when I'm trying to move, oh there, shoot. I'm trying to move this so I can see. And I don't want to do that. Do not want to do that. It's crazy. Thank you, Nathan. Alright, I can see this from here, it's fine. So what I was gonna show you guys, and I don't know if you can see it on screen, you probably can't. Let me see if I can figure out why this isn't moving over. Like I don't have like a middle mouse button on here. Oh my goodness, this is frustrating. I don't have the same. Alright, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in perspective. And then still have the same problem of being able to like toggle around without my middle mouse button. Like I'd never noticed on this mouse that I have, if you can see it, there's a roller on here. I can't get it in the frame. There we go. There's a roller on here, but there's no button to actually click. It's really weird. That's what hey Brittany, that's what I was just about to talk about. So the foot, the heel of the foot forward that might be missing. Bottom of the shoe, show the top of the way. The ball, hip, socket, joint movement. I think you're talking about what I was about to bring up, which is the, but if you're talking about the planted foot here. If you're not, then we might be talking about something different. But what I noticed is, I was going to try and zoom in on it, but I can't. But if you look, my foot on my animation is like completely still, right? And she's taking a ton of, well, not a ton, but she's taking a lot of weight. And there's a little rotation that's happening there. So I'm going to grab that control, and then I'm going to hide these so I can see that foot better. And then I'm going to go through here and coming up, and even here, like there's just the tiniest bit of rotation, but not in Y, not yet, but soon. I'll make that go that way a little bit. And then this is going to be closer to that. So here is where I see like a little bit of rotation start to happen on this foot. This way. Just a little bit. And rotate some more, just a little bit. That might be too much. look at that heel, it does start to go a little more behind, but I gotta make sure that it stays planted, and this rig is not letting me do that. You know what? There might be a better way to do this. Let's undo some things. Alright, so we're up. And this is where that rotation is starting to happen. Right there. So let's see if there is a raised heel, swivel heel. What happens when I put a value in there? It's not exactly what I want. Swivel foot. Let's just put a really high number so I can see what this actually does. That is definitely not good. There's a knee slide, a calf. Ooh, I found a calf bend. I might play with that later to see if I can get that bowing of the leg. But for now, I'm trying to heel stretch, heel pivot, swivel toe, raise toe, swivel heel, raise heel. Yeah, it's not really. Let me try this. Let's put 3. Yeah, see, I don't want to get off of that point there. Let me see what other controls I have here. Maybe I can get something out of this. Yeah, but that's not going to take the foot. I want that. I want this foot. Oh, there we go. That's what it was. It was a heel pivot control. I think this will help. Yes, it will. So I don't want that toe to move, but I do want it to rotate. The whole foot, that is. So here, I'm going to make this favor where we're going a little bit more. Like that. And then there goes a little bit more behind where that shin comes down the front of the foot. And then I'm going to make sure that it stays there, which it is totally not doing. But it should. There it goes. Make that stay there. Make that stay there. And then by here, it actually looks like you almost don't see any of that heel. It's behind it. Well, let's make this one favor where it's going. And this one a little closer. And this one a little bit closer too. And then here, this needs to be like that. And then it pops up. I'm going to bend that toe the other way. So toe bend, or I guess they call it raised toe. If I go negative, yep, then I can get a little bend. See how her foot, when she's bringing it this way, the toes go like this. So I'm just trying to get as close to that as I can with the rig. 35. It's pretty close. It's framed through. And it comes through and plants. And here it looks like it's a little too low, going through the ground. So I'm just gonna nudge it up and then also bend it and tap it over, because you don't see all you kind of see is the top of her foot there, then the heel there. And you get kind of this shape, this negative space there. So I'm getting as close to that as I can. The proportions aren't exactly the same, so I'm not going to nitpick that. And it plants and she comes up. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, there's that turn that happens right there. I think that's feeling pretty good. I feel like her turn on the foot is a little softer. There's think I make little sounds when I animate too to help me with timing. Tink. So when I compare the two, tink, it lets me know kind of what's off sometimes. Must select this whole foot and so see there's this big, alright, so that's where I'm going. So let's just stay close in that range. And even here, stay like that. Now let's see what that looks like. I think I want to rotate this more. That one pivot control here. I want that to be, so this is where we're rotating to. I think that this is kind of where, that frame's where I want to be. So I'm gonna favor that, favor that, favor that, favor that. And it would be great, yeah, if I could just get that to be a little bit, I don't want to do that. I could get this to be a little bit straighter. I don't like, that looks better, I think. There's something wonky happening here. It's because this foot needs to be straight and it's not. Let's do that. It's not straight there either. So I'm going to take her hips and just tap her up so she's straight there. And tap her up one, so I guess two now, straight there. Same here, tap her hips up and tap her hips up there. Tap them up there. And then I think we're good. Yeah. Oh, I see a little wonkiness happening here. I think it's because it's, yeah, there's something weird buckling thing happening right there. That knee is doing something weird right there. It's on that turn. I think it's because of the hips. Yeah. So here we're good, but then there we should tap up. That's what it was. All right. Let's get that buckle out of there. There we go. Okay. So the other thing right now is still that foot. This foot is still pretty locked at the first 10 or so frames. But I did that on purpose because I was trying to fix something that was later down the line. So now that that's fixed, I can come back in and put some things back. So it's a little move there, and then it goes slightly more there. Boom. Boom. And tiny move there. And keep it here. And then it does the turn, which I still think is too big of a move. So let's do that. And that. That's better. Yeah. So the other thing, if I can do this, is that toe, raised toe. If I bring that into the negatives, yeah. So let it bend. Let's try -50. That might be too much. -30. That might be good. Just so that there's a little bend. What I'm wondering is, no, we should be good. I'm going to copy that bend all the way through. Is that working? I'm not crazy about how the toe bends are for this rig. I mean, it's not awful, but I don't know. Raise heel, swivel heel, leg stretch, calf bend. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely better. Okay. So, what else was bothering me about this old animation? I think her arm is looking okay to me. Let me see here. So we got a bend. I want that bend on that foot needs to be slightly less. This bent there, even that bend is not great. So that looks right. And that comes up. It comes up. Fully extend. Yeah, it's pretty good. Trying to see if there's an opportunity to Yeah, there it is. I feel like I can change the pose of this arm just a little bit, or the hand, something like that. And then even here, I think the angle's all right. There we go. Maybe more this way. Yeah. And flat. Now, if I draw a line where the top of her hands go, that cuts kind of across her head, but if I draw that line on the top of this hand, it kind of goes right where her shoulder is, which is like here. All right. And then also, this shoulder is slightly higher than that shoulder, and these are like right across, straight across, right? It's kind of boring. So to fix that, I'm hoping it's gonna be a simple fix of just grabbing this top chest or spine controller, it's IK spine controller, and just rotating it in Z towards screen right, which also is giving me the proper tilt that she has to her head, and it put this shoulder higher than that shoulder. And then now, what I also want to do, let me get rid of this keyframe. So what I want to do now also is this arm needs to be lower. So just kind of draw a line, it goes that way, just like that. Again, the proportions aren't the same, but you try and get as close as you can. There we go. So I'm looking at Misty now, not my animation. And like she gracefully raises that screen right arm up, and it's nice and smooth, right? But what's awesome is it's like it's at a completely different speed and rate than when her screen left leg comes up. So it's like this beautiful contrast of fast and slow motion. So I'm looking at that, and then I'm making sure that I feel that in my animation. It's close. It's pretty close. And then that swoop down. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. It is definitely, these are definitely the things I wanted to address when this popped up in my Facebook feed from over, I guess it was a year ago. I feel like this arm, there's like a part where it's like, it just feels like it gets stuck. And I want to make sure I'm not missing. It keeps going up and comes down. So that's fine. It's just something about oh, one, I think we can angle this down more. Like this comes this way and then kind of drops like that. Same here. A lot of time it's here, still same angle. Still the same angle. Maybe it opens up a little bit more. This is more this way. I feel like, I guess that's yeah, mine for this, the difference between here and here is too great. And I feel like this needs to come down just a little bit. And then also angle it this way. And then here, that distance feels too great. So let's go halfsies. And even here, that felt too big. So that's better. And it comes into the fall, or the flap. Let's see what that feels like when I play it. Like, yeah, there's like a weird bend there or something. I think it's this. So I'm gonna keep this frame. Hear the train coming. And my Facebook is bumping. Alright, now I gotta look at my curves. So it's translating up. It's going up. It's going up. And then there's this quick jump here, which I don't like. So what do we want to lose? Let's try and get rid of these and see what happens. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And then I want this to be a consistent growth, so let's just clean those. So it just, let's see what this looks like. And there's still something weird in there. Oh, I know what it is. It's the drag, that R, that rotation in Z. So I have it angled like this, and then here it changes. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of this little cluster here. And then on that one, I'm gonna make it just have the same angle until after. So here, and it will change. That's better. I still see something. Something in the move is feeling better coming up, but there's like this weird thing on her elbow that I need to figure out. That might be this section here. I think it was. Coming up. Yeah. I think that fixed it. Yep. Yeah, that was the translate Z was coming back and forth, so and it was like really subtle, but it was like as her arm was coming up, I'm trying to get my arm in here, as her arm was coming up, I had this like Z translation happening. So when it came up, there's like this tiny Z. So I just got rid of those keys, like, and so it was a smooth transition because everything about that move is just smooth, right? It's like an elevator ride, and then it comes around, arcs around, and drops into that kind of flap move. Oh, but you know what? I still see, yeah, right there. There's another weird rotation on Z, and I see it. So I'm thinking this just needs to be, these just have to go. That's excess. There we go. And then yeah, then that keeps it going. Like, trying to get my arm in here again. That keeps it like this angle down, and then comes up, and then comes into the flap. I'm looking at the other arm now. But before I do that, save. Because it would be a shame to do all these changes only to have it go away. So I'm going to look at my curves and see if I see anything that looks weird. Well, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the animation. So, look at, it's not bad. Actually. I was gonna see if there was any wonkiness on that other arm, but I kind of like it. I don't think I want to mess with it. Goes up. I mean, if there was something I would do, and this is slightly, yeah, so when the arm comes up, it kind of hits this angle there and stops. So I would just give it like a little bit, move it a little bit more in this direction, right? So I'll bet you if I look at the curve for that translate X, it's going to come up and it's going to hit like a wall. Maybe, maybe not. So this is where it's going. I need to see. See that better. Okay. So if I were to translate that up, it hits. Yeah, already just making that continue. And then making this continue before the drop. Maybe this needs to go even more. Yeah. That way it doesn't hit a wall. Comes up. But I think these have to go because it's messing with the rate. There we go. Now the only thing is I'm moving too far screen right with it, so I'm gonna pull back on that decision a little bit and pull this back. I think that's still does it. Around. And then I'm going to do the same thing with that rotation. So it comes around, and then here it's going to start to go the other way, which means I might be able to get rid of that. No, I want to keep it, just raise it a little bit, and then it comes up. And let's get rid of this and that, and then by here should be okay. And then let's go ahead and clean these up too. I don't need those. I kind of want to get rid of these two as well. I don't think I need them. Let's bend this. There we go. Let's play it. Nice. Now it comes up smooth and rotates around. I'm thinking Misty would be proud of this. Seeing if anything else is standing out. It's pretty good though. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna leave this alone for another year and then I'll look back at it again. It's a really fun exercise to study, reference. Not just an exercise, it's a way of life when you're an animator, to know how something is working and moving, and what makes a good pose what makes it appealing, what makes something elegant, what makes something graceful. It's just a really good way to practice looking at spatial relationships, and like the tip of this finger reaching down to the toe. Like I was taught early on at the age of 15 by my figure drawing teacher, Gene Parsons, that there are triangles in the figure everywhere. And that's like in the planes of the feet, you've got triangles. In the relation, like I just said, between the toe and the tip of the fingertip, and where the arm meets the chest, you've got another triangle. You've got triangles everywhere, all over the body, the way the face is constructed. You've got corners of your eyes that reach the peak of your nose, vice versa, the corners of your mouth and the peak of your nose. Triangles, like all over your body. There's triangular relationships on how you can kind of get space, tip of the finger, top of the head, and top of the shoulder. So when you start looking at stuff like that, you can make your poses feel a lot stronger. So anyway, this wasn't to be teachy. This was just me going back and fixing something that made me happy when it popped up on my Facebook feed, because I had forgot about doing it. And then I was like, as soon as I was happy, I instantly got into artistic like scrutiny mode, and I was like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I think I would have changed that. Look at that knee pop, look at that wrist pop, stuff like that, So it was fun to go in, and who knows, I might look at this in a week and pick at it some more, but I'm thinking it looks pretty good. That's it. No more art for me for the next 4 to 5 days, because I I'm getting ready to go to New Orleans for some much needed time off. So, I hope however many people are watching this tonight enjoyed it. And that's it. I'm going to go before I spill my heart out on what's been bugging me lately. Alright, you guys. Take care. There's another train out there. I'm not going to sleep at all today. Peace!